Hello everybody! Welcome to Agashi Review, where I review movies, dramas that you don't want to waste your time watching. I'll give you a synopsis, shorts review, along with my thoughts and opinions. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe and leave a comment below. Now let's go into the review. Hello everybody, Agashi here today. So today I'm doing a K-drama review. I know this drama came out for a while already, but I've just been waiting on it because it's like I couldn't find anything with English subtitle, like all the sites I watch my dramas from, and like they didn't have it, and I tried to put in a request for it, but then it came up on my Netflix saying that it was going to air soon, so I waited this long for it to come out so I can watch it. By the way, no sponsor or promotion or anything to Netflix, just a fan watching this drama. And so this drama, the Korean title is 구필수 is not here, but it's like a pun and it means never give up. So it has a total of 16 episodes. It already finished airing already, and so I was able to, because it finished all already, I was able to watch the first 8 episodes. I haven't been able to have the time to complete it, but it's so good. It's a slice of life and, you know, drama, and you want to like, it's struggling and everything like that, and you know, it's like this town, never give up. So you guys obviously know why I watched it, so I'm gonna jump into the cast. It's obviously Yoon Doo Joon is in there, and he's Jung Suk, and Hwang Dong-won is Gu필su. Han Gong-eun is Nam Sung-min, Park Wang-suk is Madam Dong, and Jung Dong-won is Gu Jung-pil. It's so funny, his name, I'll get to it later. And Jang Dang-eun as Oh Seo-gi, and there's tons of other people too. So as for the synopsis, Gu필su is a breadwinner in his 40s who dreams of his second heyday. As for Jung-suk, a genius in his 20s who dreams to start up his own company. The drama portrays relatable stories. It includes social and education problems, employment, startup wars, and all those things. And at the same time, it draws the harmony and the relationship between different generations and create like kind of like a comedy slice of life, and you know, sad and stuff like that around everybody, and it just makes you, you know, watch comfortably because you can kind of relate to it. So the synopsis is very straightforward like that. It doesn't give you a lot of the things, so when you actually do watch it, you really jump into it. So this drama has been out for a while, so I'm just gonna jump straight into it. So the recap of the first 8 episodes, the drama starts us off telling each other's life, like each life of our main cast. So we get the Gu family. I laughed because when I realized that, I was like, Gu family bug, remember Choi Jin-hyun, Lee Se-gi, Suzy? So Gu필su, he owns a chicken, like a fried chicken restaurant. He was so successful working in his previous company, and he opened up his own franchise now. And he's like, it looks like he's living the dream, and like from everything, he has a nice suit, a nice car. But it turns out he's just driving a drunk driver home, and he's just like the DD, you know, and he goes back to his restaurant. His wife, Nam Sung-min, she's dresses really nice in a sleek black suit and everything, and she's like walking in the big department store. We like, you know, like how all those rich ladies go to shop. We learn she's one of those workers there that helps the rich lady shops, like put on shoes for them, go find perfect size for them, and all stuff like that. Like, oh, you look so pretty in this, like buy this, it looks pretty on you, stuff like that. So, and then there's their son, Gu Jung-pil. Why I laughed when I was reading the cast was because, remember Lee Min-ho from Boys Over Flower, his name was Gu Jung-pil. But anyways, their son is a hard-working student, and he's in middle school. He goes to a private school learning English, math, history, etc., all the best class. But his dream is to become an idol. It's very typical. But we then get introduced to Jung-soo, who started up his own company called JS and Friends, and they develop an app called Neighborhood 24. This app is pretty much gives you an explanation about, you give like kind of like social media, but it's around your neighborhood. You explain a little bit detail about yourself on there, and you meet people in your neighborhood who are very similar to you. And in a way, it's good for introvert people or people who doesn't have time to go make friends. You use this app and you get to know people, and then when you guys have time, you set up time to meet. So Jung-soo started this app with his company, and with this app with his 2 friends, Min-jae and Yong-hyun. But Min-jae has a different perspective in terms of what he wants to do with their company. But Jung-soo doesn't want to go the same route as Min-jae. Jung-soo lives a pretty decent life and well off from his father's company. And Min-jae, you could tell he's a bit jealous of Jung-soo. But Jung-soo isn't greedy. He always shares everything with Min-jae. But Min-jae feels as if like, it's just him. He feels as if like Jung-soo pities him and just gives everything to him. But Jung-soo doesn't ever feel like that. So Pil-soo and Jung-soo first encounter each other when Jung-soo and his friend goes out to eat at the fried chicken restaurant. Pil-soo serves them the chicken on the house as a new recipe, and Jung-soo makes a comment that he doesn't like. They both start off really bad there. Pil-soo learns that his rent is going up and he cannot afford to continue to pay the rent because of his slow business, and his son's school's expensive is so expensive now. So his wife wants the best for their son, and pretty much even though they're like middle class people, she pushes her son to be around high class people. The sprinklers in their house goes off. It destroys everything. Landlord is going to kick them out. They don't have money for another deposit for another home. Pil-soo ends up helping Madam Dong on the streets, as he was formerly a fighter, and this brought him up to helping her, taking her home and seeing her big mansion where she lives alone. In return, she strikes a deal with him. She will only stay in her room and does not disturb them on the first floor. Everything on the first floor belongs to him and his family, and she only is going to stay until she completes what she needs to. Then once she completes her duty, she's going to give them the house and she's going to leave. But for the time being, they have to live with her until she completes what her mission, her wishes, duties, and stuff like that. So the family is now safe. Pil-soo doesn't fully tell his wife the truth yet until they officially move into the house, and he tells Sungmin that they're going to be living with this Halmoni. Sungmin is uncomfortable because they have to live with her. They don't know who she is. They don't know how long. They're just gonna have to live with her. So basically, she lives kind of like on the basement floor-ish, almost to the basement, and they're restricted to go in that area, and everything on the first floor belongs to Pil-soo and his family, the kitchen, living room, all of that. So now that's their story, and we jump onto Jung-soo. His family and his father ends up in jail, detention center, and so he needs to continue his business. So he takes all the share from his father and he tries to go get an investment. Only nobody wants to invest in him now because of his father's situation. Then Min-jae decides to take his idea and go into like V Genie something company, start a venture company, and he creates Golden Cupid. It's the same idea as Neighborhood 21, but it's a dating app. So Min-jae takes everybody with him from JS and Friends company and go into and start everything. And so Jung-soo, like, you know, they say that Jung-soo never cared about them. That's why he created his company called JS and Friends. They're just friends. Basically, it's his initial, you know, and he never recognizes them for any of their hard work. So he goes down a really big downfall at the beginning. He struggles and he loses a lot of money. He doesn't have a home anymore, and he eventually meets Madam Dong, who his father owes 70 million won to her. She cannot collect the money because he's in jail. With no home and no money, he turns to her and strikes a deal. If she will make the loan 1 billion won, she's only going to give him 300 won to invest in his 300 million won to invest in his business, and she takes him as collateral. She agrees and he moves into the mansion. Now in the mansion, the Gu family lives on the first floor, Madam Dong lives on the lower floor, Jung-suk is now on the second floor. At first, they all do not get along. Sumin is not happy about the situation. But things starts to change when Pil-soo learns from Jung-suk that Madam Dong is a loan shark, and he starts to become afraid of her. But now they get all confused why she suddenly wants to return collateral items and forgets about debt that people owe to her. We later learn she has cancer and she refuses to get chemo, which leaves her 3 months left to live. That's why she's allowing the Gu family to come live with her so she could pass on her home and everything to them. She's investing in Jung-suk. There's a reason why. She knows his mom, but I haven't got to the point why anyways. But she has no family, so she might as well give her things to these strangers who, you know, after looking a while, they seem decent, so she's gonna do that. So Pilsu and Jung-suk ends up getting involved and learning that Madame Dong, she's returned her collateral and what she's doing. And because they almost ruined the first time she's returning one of the special collateral item, which is the chef's knife, they end up having to help her with the last 3 people she wants to return the item to. And this brings all 3 of the family closer to each other. Now, Jung-pyo, who has never seen this, both his grandma on his mom or his dad's side, he starts to treat Madam as his own grandma, so he calls her Halmoni. It warms her heart and she decides to get chemo to get better. But she still hasn't told anybody about her illness. Only Jung-pyo was able to see a little bit of her being sick, and he promised to keep it a secret with her. And so now going back to Jung-suk and Pil-soo, who's trying to find all the other people to return the collateral, and this Pil-soo ends up helping Jung-suk promote his app. It gets popular now, and he starts to realize the point of his app. At first, he wanted to just, make it to make friends, and he was really strict about certain things and what he wants, stuff like that. And then he meets Sergey, who's a very, very intelligent web designer, and she helps him on the side and all stuff like that. It kind of got her in trouble because she was working at Golden Cupid too, but they meet. They didn't start off well, but then eventually they start to kind of constantly meet, and she helps him. She gives him an idea, and he starts to realize that Neighborhood 24 isn't just an app for young people. It's catered to all ages because of Pilso helping him promote it. Basically, you can help find your old friends from back then for old people too. So he starts to get the idea, and he starts to change his app, and he starts to go a different route with it. Now, him and Min-jae are both going to update their apps, and Min-jae decides to take Jung-suk's blind function idea into Golden Cupid. And because both have the same data, Golden Cupid launched the update first. It shut down Jung-suk's app and it stopped working. And Min-jae is trying to patent it, but when it originally belongs to Jung-suk. Threatening to fire Sergey, Jung-suk doesn't want her to suffer because he's already suffering, and her dream is to become the best web designer and all stuff like that. And so he chose to give up the law and everything, the fight, the suit and everything like that, and he's just gonna let his app crash and let it not work anymore. Sergey later finds out that Min-jae and Young-jae stole the blind app from Jung-suk. They actually do not have the patent. They stole it, and she quits, and she's like, if you guys don't take down the data and remove your launch, basically I'm just gonna give this to Jung-suk and he can technically win over this lawsuit. So they decide to take down the blind function from Golden Cupid. Jung-suk's app starts to continue to running, and she leaves and she goes and work with him, and they have an introvert friend who works with them. So now they're working together to create a neighborhood app to become better. Now, Sungmin, who has always been envious of the luxury life, she wishes that to just be like every other housewife with luxury materials, and she just stays home. But she has to work just as hard as her husband to make things go well for them and their son. She ends up meeting an old college friend, Hwang Eun-ho, who states he's a writer, but actually he's a very big investor. He's the chief of Asia. Now he's back in Korea. He saw potential in Jung-suk, even though he is going to become the chief of Asia for the genie or whatever like that. He actually gets to meet Min-jae, but he sees the big potential in Jung-suk. We obviously know he is going to come in and invest in Jung-suk and help Jung-suk, because he met Jung-suk when Jung-suk didn't know who he was. So he got to see the true color of Jung-suk and how hardworking he is, versus when they introduced that he is the chief of Asia, everybody treats him like he's the boss and try to make them look good. So that's the difference right there. Jung-suk didn't know who he was, and he didn't trick Jung-suk who he was. He is actually a writer, But anyways, so when Eun-ho comes in, Sunmin saw how he values her. Her heart starts to waver and second guess her marriage life and her husband's with together and everything like that. So that ends it for us for the first 8 episodes. I ended right there, but I gotta say, so far I'm loving the drama. It is such a great slice of life, and honestly I cried so hard from episode 6 to episode 8. It's when the second item of Pilsu and Jung-suk had to return, and it's a pair of heels, and the story is about a married couple. They get married, they become pregnant, but life decides to throw a curveball at them, and mommy becomes diagnosed with cancer. She refused to abort the baby as the baby is the fruit of their love. She dies giving birth and the husband raises the baby on his own. He struggles a lot, but the shoe, and you know, pretty much the shoe was given to Madame Dom when they was taking away, they were loaning money and it was collateral. And Madame Nun wants to return the shoes. Both the husband and the baby is nowhere to be found. It has been over 10 years already, but Pilsu and Jongsu was able to find the father and the baby was a boy. The dad is so heartbroken after so many years. He's become a drunk here and there while his sons suffer. After returning the shoes to them, Pilsu tells the husband to be a good father to their son. He still has his son who is left behind by the wife. He should get back on his feet, quit drinking, and focus on his son, you know. So Jungsu spends some time with the boy and learns that the boy never saw the mom before. That's when he starts using his app to reach out to old friends of the mom and was able to collage all these pictures of the mom for the boy. Eventually they gathered the pictures, put it in a tablet for the boy as a gift, saying help you in school, and pictures of your mom to keep forever, you know. The father sees this, he's so thankful. Both father and son continues to live their life. Father shapes up better for the son. And it was such a good story. Obviously it leads to Jung-suk and his mom's story, why Madame Dong agreed to help him in the first place. And like I said, I haven't got there, but I know there's a reason why Madame Dong helped him, because of his mom. But this story, obviously, you guys know, it hits me because it's a mommy baby story, and obviously for my son, you know, I was just like so heartbroken. I was just like crying, you know, like, oh my god, it's hitting you and everything. But it is so good. I'm loving this drama. I'm looking forward to finishing it. If you guys have not checked it out, do check it out. I highly recommend it for a slice of life. It's really good, and you know, like, it just really shows you as much everybody goes through suffering. Honestly, the first couple episodes, you're going to see them suffer, but then eventually as it goes through, like, you can see a little bit climbing up. But it's like the title said, don't ever give up, you know. You just gotta hold out, go through all these things. It will eventually come. It's just your time hasn't arrived yet. And my son is awake. Hello. Oh, don't cry. Anyway, so if you guys have not checked it out, do check it out. That is the first 8 episode of Never Give Up, or 구필수 is not around. Do check it out. I highly recommend it. But that is it for today's drama review, and I will see you guys next time.